edition of ManClub. Today we're going to do a modification to the coupe and play with the tail light configuration a little bit. By stock, the tail lights and brake lights are just on the bottom half of the brake light assembly, and in the middle is the flashers, and then on the top is reverse. And I can't really take credit for this. This is all Kevin Chang, aka Zexen, on myhn.com. Z-E-X-E-N is his screen name. He shipped me this little bad boy. He's making these little kits, and he's got it. He's the one that figured it all out, and he's assembled these kits. And we're going to use his instructions today and install it and see how it looks. But basically, what it's going to do is you're in the middle of your brake light assembly. It was just a bulb dedicated for flashing signals or hazards. And he's tied in tail lights to that, so he's going from a single filament bulb to a dual filament bulb in the middle. So you'll have tails on the middle and bottom, and then your flashers will still work individually. So without further ado, let's get going. Tool list for today is super light. A pair of needle nose pliers for those T-clips, flat tip screwdriver to get to the bulbs. I used a pair of scissors and some electrical tape, and that's it, man. Alright, we got everything unpacked. It was nicely shipped in this bubble wrap. Everything made it intact. We've got some T-tap connectors and what I'll call a light bulb assembly unit, which is OEM, slightly modified to be able to fit receptacle here with bulbs 7443 and some connections. So it doesn't look like it's going to be too tough to get in. Hey, what are you doing in here?
Afro Ninja.
The mods over at da.net sent me here to teach you a lesson.
Man, you better get out of here. Got this breaker bar right here, your name on it.
I'm gonna kick your ass. Here it comes.
Well, I guess some problems take care of themselves. That's some bizarre shit right there. Anyway, let's get busy. Alright, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to pop these bulbs out because I don't want them to get messed up. And then I'm going to take some electrical tape just to make it look a little more OEM or clean. I'm going to tape these, down to about there. So I still got room to work with because I know these split off, and I'll clean it up after it gets installed. There, that looks a little cleaner. And when we get them all set up, then we'll tape them off individually. And I also like to point out that Kevin really included high quality parts here. These are all 3M connectors on here. These are 3M T-taps, all made in the USA, so I'm really not worried about the quality of the job here today. It looks really good. So I took the taping a little bit further than I showed before. I taped down to the pivot point here, but then basically the yellow without the black on it goes off on its own. Then the yellow with the black stripe and the red go together. So you can even cover up the black as long as you know those two are together like that. And I'm going to tape this guy up here. It's all going to look nice and clean. And I don't have to worry about anything getting pinched, shorting out. Something along the lines of this. So I just covered that one all the way down to the connector because I know that's just the yellow by itself. I left these two exposed so I could see the colors. And once I pop those in, then I'll cover those two up as well. Alright, first thing we got to do here is get our flat tip screwdriver and just really lightly turn these out. They'll come out almost by hand. And if they don't, you can almost just pull them out. They're just like little plastic screws. And that'll let us pull this carpet down and expose the wiring there. Alright, now that we've got our brake lights exposed, tail lights, reverse is on the top, we're going to leave that one alone. So we just take the turn signal, which is here, just turn it just like not even a quarter turn. I guess that's clockwise. Man. Counterclockwise or whatever. Just turn it a little bit and they'll come out. Immediately I like to take the bulbs out because I don't want to break these fuckers, they're expensive. And then we'll peel back this sheathing here, expose the wire, and tap in. We're going to repeat the process on the passenger side. Basically, I've already pulled out the two wires. We're going to pull back the electrical tape here and expose the wires. Now that we've got our wires exposed, on the original brake light, we're just going to hit the red here. And then on the same, like on the other side, for the tail light, we're going to put the T-taps on both of these, black and green. So black, green on the tail, or on the blinkers, and the red from the brake light, tail light. Okay, so on the passenger side here, we get our harness, and the original green from the turn signal will go to the red wire. The original black will go to the yellow with the black stripe, and then the for the parking tail lights from the original 3-wired, the red that we tapped into will go to the yellow wire that's by itself. Okay, now we got that wired. One next tip, I'm going to put a little piece of electrical tape, because this is exposed and this will have current going through it. You just don't want it to touch any metal in there because it might short and pop your fuse. So I'm just going to tape this one up. Cool thing about this setup is you want to go back to OEM, you pop these off, you take the T-ties out and just tape it back up, and it goes right back, no problem. Alright, now that we got our bulbs in, another thing, I wouldn't try to be sticking them in with the light on, because that's when the filament is at its weakest. So I turned off the lights. I tested it before I put them in, and we'll turn them off and stick them in. If you forgot which one's which, the one with the 2 tags and the extension, that's the top, and the little one with the little short one, that's the bottom or the brake light. Well, here's a little side-by-side comparison. There's the one I just did. I'll come over here, you can see how it used to look. There's the stock, and there's the new look. Okay, so for the turn signal, it looks like we got a blue and a black, and down here on the brake tail, we've got a red, green, and black. So we're going to tap with the T-taps, both of these, and then the red from the brake light, tail light, ground. Right down here, we're just going to hit the red one here and both of these up here. Alright, so as far as these T-taps go, you'll see that little V right there. You want to put your wire resting right on top of that, and then you close it over. Make sure it's still in that gap, and when you pinch it down, it's just going to push the wire right through that little gap right there, and it's going to make contact. It's a very unintrusive way to splice in. And then when you close that, then this piece becomes the other part of the contact where you slide something in here. So let's put these 3 on. Again, the black and the blue here, and then the red down here on this 3-wire one. Okay, so we take a look at these. Make sure, I had to bend one of them. Just make sure they're kind of centered in there like that. If they're like pushed to the bottom, they won't make contact. So make sure they're kind of centered. And then this red one here will go to the blue of the original turn signal. The black will go to the yellow with the black. I've covered up the little thing that Kevin painted on there, but these, I know these 2 are the ones. And then this other solid yellow will punch in with this red here. Just put those connectors on and throw the bulbs in, and I think we're buttoning up this side here. Alright, so pay attention a little bit. You really can't see it from back here unless you're a contortionist. You can get your head all the way back through there. So what I do is I just look through the tail light, but the sockets are keyed, so you can only go in one way. So just if it's not going in, just keep turning in and kind of look through the plastic, and you'll see the big key, and then there's a couple of small keys. You got to line that up, and then just turn it just like an 1/8 of a turn, and you'll feel it lock into place. And after that, we're just gonna, tuck our carpet back under here, put those screws back in, and test it out. Well, this concludes another edition of ManClub. Thanks for watching. Today we installed Zexen Industries taillight mod, and it looks great, man. It really completes the tail end look as far as nighttime visibility and all that, and safety. Kevin, thanks a lot for sharing. I know you put these kits together. You probably didn't make a lot of money off of any of it. You just did it in the spirit of sharing, and that's what this cool forum's all about. And props to you, Chris, for running the show and not forcing everyone to be sponsors or banning ideas or the sharing of ideas. It's just a great environment. I appreciate it all. So with that being said, Thanks, guys. Until next time, keep 'em hanging.